everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I missed that. Where is the site? Where is the link broken? Like, where was
On
it
the
posted?
if there are two ways to get to Spooky Trolley Tour, there's either the top navigation link, which works, Michelle, but if you go down the homepage and they have like the call out that says Spooky Trolley Tour, click for details, that's going to the wrong link. So that gives you a 404 message.
Yeah, so we have to fix that. Because people might be looking at all of the events on that page where you scroll down and you see all the events and you click into each one. So if they're looking there, they're going to get confused.
Well, it's 10:04, and I know that everybody has a busy day because it is not a holiday or anything. So shall we begin?
Yes.
And hopefully more folks will join us. We certainly invited a lot, and welcome to our second and last Hastings Village chat for 2023. I am your Hastings Chamber of Commerce Village Liaison. I am Ellen Sledge at Penny Lick Ice Cream, and not really at Penny Lick Ice Cream because Monday is my only day off a week. Yay! And we have a wonderful crew here today so far. And of course, we have our lovely Mayor Armacost. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, our ever vigilant downtown advocate, Barbara Prisament. Hello, hello.
Hi. Good morning.
The nice thing about Village Chats is they give us an opportunity to go over what's going on in the downtown, any updates from the village government, any work that's being done, any events being planned, any budgeting issues. And then, of course, we'd love to hear about any events, upcoming events for small businesses, any questions that you have, any way the village and the chamber can be of service. And I'm going to mostly moderate and mute myself because my husband's on calls. There's calls all over the place. But maybe I will say, let's start with a few words from Mayor Nikki.
Really lovely to see all of you. And special thanks to everyone who participated in Oktoberfest and to Barb, of course, and the team. That was a really fun, successful event. Everyone loves our events in the village. In terms of things that we're in the process, first of all, I want to apologize to all of you for the parking debacles of the last little while. I know you've all been suffering with it, and there are some things which I think will get solved very quickly, which are that allegedly the signs are going to go up soon, which will make it easier for people to understand what the situation is. The other thing that's happening is that the parking meters are going to be kind of manipulated in such a way that they're turned into bike parking in some places. I think you've agreed to one where you are, Ellen.
Yeah, I have one right outside my shop. It's lovely.
Yeah, if other people want them, let Mary Beth know. And then what's going to happen is that those will be removed, which will make it much easier for people to understand what they have to do with parking. The judge told me at the moment he's just dismissing tickets that people are getting where they claim, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but where they they say that they got a ticket, they misunderstood what the situation was, because they're absolutely right. The signage is bad. But the other thing that we're going to do, we've already discussed at the Board of Trustees level, and that we're going to do, I think we're going to hopefully I think we have agreement on it. We have Trustee Fleissig, so I'm going to flag him. He's there on the screen as well. But what we've decided to do is to look at a 15-minute free parking option, which will hopefully benefit all of you who have people. It might not help you, Paul, where people want to sit and stay and socialize for a bit longer, but it might help people like you at Penny Lick, where people are popping in and out. So we're hoping that that will be something that's valuable to all of you. And we're also looking at, it seems as if for some weird reason, there's a kind of surcharge on using the Paymobile app in Hastings that there isn't in other communities, and we're trying to work that out. That one may not be dealt with so soon. So hopefully we get some respite. And I think Barb and I have already discussed that she's going to come and ask for the free parking, just to make it even more confusing. She's going to come and ask for the complete free parking in December. So everyone's going to be just completely messed up. No one's going to actually know what the situation is, but hopefully it will get better. So I'm hoping that from a parking point of view, we'll put 2023 behind us and we'll look sort of optimistically towards 2024. And then the other thing that was supposed to happen this year, we had received funding, I think you know, for some new sidewalks in the downtown, where we're really trying to maximize the use of that CDBG funding. The funding didn't come into the county this year, so we think that that's going to happen next year. We'll keep you posted. I think Mary Beth and Barb are very good at sort of letting you know where things are. So, and the other thing is that for businesses that have parklets and streetlets, we will this year have to kind of come to an agreement. We basically acknowledged that in COVID, that my view was, and the trustees all agreed, that we should be really doing what we could to support our businesses, and we didn't charge. Morgan's, I think, saying that he's with us but can't talk, or but Morgan, just if I say anything you disagree with, feel free to jump in and correct. But what we will need to do is, in this coming year, in 2024, is sort of work out a fee structure. So there are not that many businesses that are affected, but I'm just sort of letting you know, kind of giving you forewarning that sort of hiatus on charging fees will have to be resolved. And what we want to do as a board of trustees is really work with businesses to make sure that whatever solution we come up with is one that's, you know, that I'm sure it won't be welcomed, but at least feels fair and doesn't feel draconian. So that's just, and Barb will obviously be an interlocutor on that. She can talk about all of the events. There are always really exciting events in this time period coming up, and she can also give you an update on the situation in terms of vacancies and new exciting businesses. And her newsletter, I think, is a very good source. If you can't read it when it comes out, it's one of those things that's worth taking a look at, because she always ends up providing really useful information. We get CC'd, so we know what you get sent, and I find it very valuable to read that. So I do encourage you to do that. And we will be promoting in the next day or two, we'll send a message out that will promote the trolley in again. We've already sent it out, but we will send it out again. So hopefully that's helpful. And I know that the first tour is already booked out, which is great. So we'll be promoting the next two. Hopefully those will get sold out too. And the final thing is that we did provide funding to the chamber. We supported that trolley, and I did a bit of strong arming with the other mayors to get them on board. Hopefully they've all coughed up their share, and that Hastings leading the way made a difference on that. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer. Well, maybe we could,
Madam Mayor.
So, thank you. Maybe what we can do is have Barb fill us in on some of that other stuff, and maybe questions will percolate later.
Sounds good. Barb, we toss it over to you.
I'll just say really quick, just to touch on the trolley, it is huge that the villages supported that. It's a big step in the villages and the chamber and the businesses being more of a partner. And Nikki was instrumental. Like, Hastings has just been a visionary village in all of this, and like setting an example. So please keep it up and keep getting reelected so we can use you as our example. Thanks.
Thanks. Bob, are you on mute? I think you might be on mute.
Hi, I'm on mute because my bird tends to be rather vocal, but right now he's quiet. So good morning, everybody. Thank you, Nikki, for that. I will tag on to a couple of things that you said. One is just that letting everyone know I will be at the board meeting tomorrow night, and I will be advocating in public comments for the 15 minutes free parking. I think we have the support of the board, but I just want to speak up publicly about it because I do think a lot of people are hesitant to run in and out of shops. So I think it mostly affects errand type businesses. And I think what a lot of people are doing is winging it, which is why the judge is seeing so many people, or they don't understand, because otherwise it's 80 cents on the app for 15 minutes. And if they're not by a pay station, and people have been reticent to do it. So I do think it will be helpful. I'm hearing from merchants that they think people are avoiding the downtown sometimes because of that. So I'll do that. And then at the following meeting, I will be requesting holiday parking. And I'll share those dates with you once that's approved. And on the sidewalks, one of the other things you spoke about, Mayor, is that I was told by Mary Beth that the west side of Warburton and Spring are next. And if possible, if the funding comes through the way they're hoping, they would both be done in 2024. So, stay tuned for more on that. And we did actually, Nikki, Mary Beth, I walked the downtown, spoke to as many people as were in, and we came up with, I think it was 13 more spots that agreed to have what Ellen has in front of her shop, which is a bicycle it slips, they cut the head of the parking meter off, and then they slip this piece on that has a loop on each side, and then it can't be confused with regular parking anymore, and bikes can be hitched to it. So there'll be about 13 or 14 total in the village, and the other ones will just be removed and the concrete will be filled in. So she's waiting to do that till she gets the bike ones in, and those are set up, and then they'll do the meters, the regular meters. Okay, I just got an email from a new business owner, which I'll tell you about soon, with a description of her business. So, okay, a couple of things to know about the Oktoberfest, which was Friday night. Thank God it didn't rain, was a blessing, and it was great. The fire department was out in full force, lots of restaurants, huge crowd. Most people I've never even seen before, now that my children are 20 and 23, and they had a great time. So that was great. Thank you to the board and the mayor and for supporting those events. I also attended there was a really great, what was it called? Seniors, something about over 60, or what was it called?
It was Hastings over 60.
Hastings over 60, yeah.
Which some of us are in that category now. I'm not sure.
Some of us are right on the borderline.
Too young. You're all probably too young.
I've got a teeny bit more time. So anyway, it had a fantastic turnout. It was the first time they did this. There was all kinds of information about ways you can get involved in the community as seniors. And what I did is, at their request, I took that list many of you replied to about offering discounts to seniors, and we made these little cards that are probably too hard for most seniors to read, including me, but not that I'm a senior, but I'm close. Anyway, the list is up on the website, and these cards have been given out. Unfortunately, it says you get $25 off a haircut for seniors at Hudson Valley Barbers, and you don't get $25 off. They just cost $25. So we'll do another run of these, and Corey's aware if people come in, he'll explain it. But anyway, so they were very happy about this. They can stick these in their wallet and they can use them now. So we have that. Next up, I'll be soliciting anyone who wants to do a discount for Veterans Day, and we'll get that word out for our veterans, which we've done for a few years now. So that's the news there. What should I tell you next? I have little notes for you. New businesses and new owners. We have, I don't know exactly if I'm pronouncing it right, and I don't think she joined us. Oh, we did. There you are.
Dan Diggs.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet everybody. Yeah, I'm the new owner of Into Green. I'm thrilled to be here.
Did you hear that?
I'm trying to see where everybody, Amanda, I recognize your name because I know you're in the studio, and I'm trying to recognize, I don't know anybody else, so.
So Lori Slater retired, and is it, how do you pronounce your name? Jahan?
Jayan, the H is silent.
Jayan. So Jayan.
Yes, it's like it's stop like Jayann.
Got it. Well, welcome to.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to meeting everybody. It's on my list to go into the stores and like meet you guys in person. It's just I'm kind of pulled to the other side of the business.
All right.
So, I'm gonna try and spend more time. I'll be spending more time in Hastings.
That's great. Are you doing your warehouse sale? We all want to know. Some of us want to know. Are you doing Are you doing your warehouse sale
Oh
again?
yeah, we're planning. Warehouse planning has kicked off.
right.
And so we'll send some emails, and I'll let you guys know, like, when that's the date, but it's basically the first weekend in December.
Sorry, what is your business?
Into Green.
Oh,
Across
oh,
the street.
wow. Hey, congratulations. You're across
Oh,
the
thank
street from me.
you. Thank you very much.
Paulsboro 6 Wine Bar, so you're
Right
right
across the street from you.
Oh, okay. Very nice to meet you. Yeah. Like I've eaten at your place quite a few times.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And you bring good traffic, right? So keep doing
Oh,
what you're
yeah. All the traffic.
doing.
And is there anything else you want to say about the business? Adito is still managing the shop, right?
Yeah, Deirdre's still there, Susan's there. Everything honestly is the same. The concept of the store is still gonna be the same. I mean, I'm kind of looking at our just what we carry, and I want to make sure people walk in and walk out with something. So, we'll make sure there's something for everybody. So that's kind of like what we're looking at as we're filling the store for the season. And yeah, everything is still the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
welcome.
I mean, one thing I want to do is actually, maybe you guys can tell me, I want to kind of revamp the front of the store. I don't really know who I need to talk to in the village for that, like basically paint it.
That would be the architectural review board. We can talk.
Okay.
Have fun. Have fun with that one.
Oh,
Oh, Paul. It'll be okay.
Don't scare her already.
Yeah. And yeah, of course, Ellen, and you can there's a Rivertowns Chamber if you'd like to join for that community and support. I have the destinationhastings.org website and social media, and anything you do promotionally, like if you're having a big sale or event in your store, you can let me know, and I'll also spread the word. So
very
but
nice.
you and I will have to have a coffee as plans, and we'll
Yes, we will.
Okay, cool. Nice to meet you.
Thank
I,
Jan,
you.
do think- I don't mean to interrupt, but I think I am still the only business that that had the entire architectural review board come down with paint chips to decide the color of the front of my restaurant. It was just so humiliating. So
Oh, boy.
They did a great job.
yeah, didn't they?
It looks gorgeous, Paul. Jayan, before everyone traumatizes you about doing these kinds of things, I wanted to say welcome from all of us on the Board of Trustees. And often what we do, you're not a new business in the sense that we all know Laurie and we know the business, but if you want to come and introduce yourself at a meeting, you can have a discussion with Barb, and also just it made me think while we were talking, that if there's anything that the village can do to support things that you're doing, let us know. We very often send messages out about events that are happening at the Good Witch. We sent messages out about the exhibit that Ted and Nune did. So if there are things like that, again, coordinate with Barb. And generally speaking, if it's community oriented event, we can support you. We can't support individual businesses, which I'm sure you understand, but we can support it in a general sense. And we normally take November as a shop local month, like promoting shop local, and Barb kind of organizes that. So if there's anything that we can do to be supportive, let us know.
Great.
I'll also add to that from the chamber side. One thing we do is promote like milestones for businesses. So like ribbon cuttings for new businesses or anniversaries, for businesses. So, if you want to do something that's kind of like an open house where you want to, introduce yourself and plan something, we can certainly, it's kind of like a ribbon cutting, but maybe a little different. If you're interested in that, reach out to the chamber.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I will do that. Yeah.
We've
I'm
had
trying to figure out ways to sort of introduce myself. It will come, but I appreciate that, so I'll reach out.
Yeah, and we've had some successful events in your shop. Lori has put together like wine and cheese and poetry readings when we've had a literary themed evening, and we'll talk more about things like that.
Oh, good. Yeah.
We can promote, for you. So, Okay, so also another new business on Spring Street where Lemon Terrace Florals was, which is now where the observer, she moved over to the where, as you probably know, early in the summer to where the knitting shop was. Her space has been rented literally this week. I think they signed the lease, so I don't have their information yet. Linda Angel from Art Transcending Time is their landlord. She's going to connect me to the owner, and it will be Brazilian housewares, and they are interior decorators, she and her partner. So that'll be their office, and they'll have a small selection of housewares because it's this very small shop. So that will be happening. And we have a new business, and she just sent me her description so I can share it on social media. When I took this position in 2014, Nikki will remember, I spoke to the board with ideas for the village. And one of the things I said I thought would be great for the young people, for all people, because anyone could use it technically, would be a maker space where there are laser cutters and 3D printers and classes for kids. And you may remember in the mayor's message about a month ago, I sent a little paragraph. Oh no, I did my own email through the village list, and I asked people if they were interested in starting a business locally to let me know, because there are a lot of empty spaces, and maybe I could be helpful. And that generated interest. There's at least this is a slight aside, but from that email there were at least 2 more people that are interested in starting a bookstore in Hastings. I added that to about 2 others that reached out after Galapagos closed. So and I may connect them with each other, and waiting for the right space to be available. But I'll get to empty spaces in a moment. But another person, and also a woman who wants to open a cheese shop has reached out, FYI, possibly with some gourmet items, but really focused on cheese. And there's another woman I've now heard that wants a cheese shop, but I haven't connected with her yet. So bookstores and cheese shops might be coming our way, FYI. And a woman reached out to me. She wants to start a maker space, which was like a dream I've had for a long time. And she did some classes at the community center, and they were wonderful. They filled up with a sort of middle school age, plus or minus, and she's a computer science person. She did amazing projects with them. They built like a circus, and everything moved with electronics. And so she was looking for a space, and the space she thought she had fell through. She read my email. She called. I thought of the space opposite Antoinette's, which Family to Family had moved out of. They're upstairs in the movie house Muse now. And she passed her inspection, and her first class is today, this late in the after school. And it's going to be really, really cool alternative thing for kids, to another option for young people to do in Hastings. And so here's her description. She just sent it to me. It's called the Maker Hive, and it actually looks like our little mask, like our bee, logo. The Maker Hive, a community maker space focused on all types of making, opens at 416 Warburton Avenue across from Antoinette's. The focus of the space is on being creative together. The Maker Hive is launching initially with tinkering clubs for young kids. Kids will work on projects that blend art, design, engineering, and electronics in a collaborative environment. And then she gives me a link to, I think it's going to be a Facebook page she created. In the near future, the Maker Hive is planning to have resources like 3D printers, laser cutters, and electronic workbenches to enable all types of making and tinkering. In addition, the space will also host fiber art classes like knitting and art workshops for kids and adults. If you have a skill or talent you'd like to share with the community, get in touch with Arthi. I'm not going to attempt her last name. It's very long and I don't want to butcher it. I have her information. I'll be sharing this in an email to all the business owners. She lives on High Street. I don't know if any of you know Arthi, and is it Sashi? Yeah, her husband. She's also on the Conservation Commission and the Zero Waste Advisory Task Force. She works in the field of data and technology, and she has now a Maker Hive Facebook and Instagram page. So I will get that out to you. I'm thinking, Bill, that you might want to connect with her. Maybe you could do something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that would be very cool. So that's another new business that email generated, which is exciting. And Ted, why don't you just tell everyone about how your opening went? I know you had the rain that day, and I was out of town, so I couldn't come. But would you like to share about that?
Sure. The opening went really well. I thought there were quite a few people that came out just to see the space and see the work.
Do you want to introduce yourself in case not everyone knows?
Oh yeah, you probably don't know. I'm Ted Nunez over there getting her coffee. We're not early risers. And we have the space. It's the Ted and Nunez studio, and we make photography. We do we do our own printing, we do our own framing. We have an exhibition that we just opened up on Armenian monasteries. We published our book just recently, so come on in and see the show.
Their book is absolutely
Nikki was nice enough to come, which was a good show of support. But it was I think everything went well. People received the work. They were enjoying it. It's kind of a well, for us anyway, it's kind of like a peaceful environment because we're surrounded by these works, and they're up until January 6th. So
yeah, it's beautiful. Haven't seen their work yet or their new book. It's absolutely stunning. So congratulations.
I'm gonna have to dash, but I wanted to say something. I just got a little note from Charisse, and it's lovely to see you. It reminded me that we can do a better job of promoting all of you for Best of Westchester. So when that comes up, let us know. People love supporting all of you. So, you know, let us.
First round of voting is in mid-December.
Okay, so if you can keep
I usually send it to Barb.
Yeah, and
Also,
the chamber does a really nice job of promoting all its children and tries not to forget any children. So make sure that you end up being in that group. And if there's anything else that we can do, Restaurant Week, some of you participate in that. I know that Harvest is on that list. I'm not sure who else is, but let us know and we'll make sure we get that message out. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye. The first nomination round for the Best of Westchester, they emailed me, starts Monday, November 27th. I'm told. So
it's even earlier than it.
Earlier. So you can
the
nominate
whole year
yourself.
is voting.
Yeah, and if you can nominate yourselves and other businesses. So you know, that's I'll send a reminder out about that because it gets a lot of attention. Okay, she's leaving. Bye. So, all right. I have just two more things to talk about. One is empty spaces and one is events coming up. So let me do that really quickly for everyone. So empty spaces. So or in transition, 555 Warburton Hastings House has been purchased by a group of investors at like an LLC. I am in touch with the point person for that group, and he's considering a restaurant for the main level, the street level, but he's not totally sold on that. They've never owned a restaurant before, or been the landlord of a building with one. But there is at least one person interested, but you know, it's not built out as a restaurant, so it would have to be you know, they have to work that out because it's expensive to put in. There's also the plans were reapproved by the planning board for the space for the funeral home through Food for Thought for the plan. Many of you knew about those plans, are underground parking lot, apartments or condos, and one retail space, about I think 17 or 1900 square feet with a patio. If that is purchased, and those plans are now that can be purchased with the plans approved, and there's interest there. So we'll see what happens with that. The former Velo space is still available at what's it, 45 Main. The cleaners across from Rockwood and Perry is still available. The issue with a lot of spaces is they're not inexpensive to rent. The last I heard about the former cleaners, very hard to reach the realty company that owns that space, but it's like about $4,500 they were asking the last time I heard. You're smiling, Amanda. I don't know if you know more about that. I don't know. That's what I heard they want, and nobody's been taking it. They're going to white box it, and anyway. The former Galapagos space will be available because MK Dance, who is temporarily renting it, I guess, is moving into the former karate space next door. So that's the landlord has Clockwork Records, Galapagos, and what used to be a karate studio. And so they are going to be moving in there. So the Galapagos space will be open, but they want to raise the rent into the 3,000s for that space, which isn't very big. So I don't know if any of the people interested in bookstores will want to take it, or maybe the cheese shop person or anyone else. But FYI, that will be available probably around December. Okay, if you have any ideas. And in the future, the Spring Street development I mentioned, Sterling Bank will be renovated. And so there will be retail spaces available in there. He's just going to white box them. Anything else, you know, I think those will be approximately, if he makes 3 spaces, they'll be in the $3,000 range each, but right now he hasn't done it yet. So it could be organized differently. And I think that is it. There's a space in the back. Oh, so Caitlin, there's also a new photography studio, and she hasn't really announced it yet, but it's down next to Grabowski near Overseas Auto. It's one of those two storefronts, and she has a photography studio, portrait studio, and the space in the back is available. And that's pretty reasonable rent, but it just doesn't face the street. So FYI. And it looks pretty nice from what I've seen. And yeah, like under $2,000, which is rare for Hastings. But and then there's some office space in the back of Boulanger. And just trying to think if there was anything else. That's all I can think of right now. So those are the empty spaces in town. And I tell all these people that call me, it's nice to stay in touch because a space may open up that's right for them. So it's good when that's what happened with Observatory Shop. It was about 3 years of knowing Amanda before that space opened, and it was the right time for her and the right space. So, okay, that's empty spaces. And then really quickly on events, Restaurant Week is coming up. Michelle, I didn't see you. I got the issue of Valley Table and I didn't see St. George listed. Are you definitely doing it?
Yes, we are.
Okay. They didn't get you in the issue somehow?
I'll tell Jason.
Okay. But maybe make sure you're on the website because you weren't in the print issue, which came yesterday. Okay, so that's coming up. I think it's just Harvest and St. George that are participating, but we'll promote that. And we will be doing for the holidays a holiday video reel. So they can come by, Raf and Jen can come by and you can either make a video. We'll send you all the information as in the past. You can make a video about your business and wish everyone a happy holidays, or they can come in and film you. I'll send a sign-up sheet out. We will do the Shop Local gift guide again. We will promote Shop Local. There will be a tree lighting on December 1st, and we may make that into a bigger thing. Lisa is looking into an ice skating rink where people come and put one up, and maybe we'll do that in Boulanger. And if people want to sell any wares, have a little holiday market, we're going to look into all of that. That could be fun. And I'm looking into some winter events to bring people downtown. We might show some midnight movies at 10, like Rocky Horror at 10 p.m. instead of midnight, Clockwork Orange, things like that for adults. And that way, maybe they'll go out to dinner at 8 and then come to a movie. And maybe some family movie nights as well, and game nights. Thinking of some kind of little winter fest by the Protection Firehouse where we close part of the street. And we have some fire pits, since we'll have firemen there, and maybe affogatos and some fun things going on. So and I guess that is basically it. We'll do holiday parking. Anything else that a business owner is doing and that the rec department is doing for Halloween, it's all up on destinationhastings.org. So take a look. And if you have any event coming up, you can see there, the Hastings Beauty Salon has an anniversary celebration. Just send me a flyer. If you don't have a flyer, send a photo and a write-up and we'll get you on there. And then from there, we'll promote on social media. So that's it for me. Thanks.
Barb, have you heard anything about a dispensary going into the Velo space?
I have heard about that. So I'll let you know what happened with that. A couple of concerned residents of 45 Main wrote to Nikki and I and said they saw on Facebook a cannabis company, whatever, they posted coming soon to 45 Main as if they're going to have a store there. And but it's not legal because the church and the preschool are within the amount of feet that you can't have a dispensary. So Mary Beth has written to the Cannabis Board of New York State, has sent a letter explaining that this application shouldn't be approved or objecting to it or whatever because of the proximity of the church and the school. She put a little map in and they've sent it off. So we think we know that organization posted that prematurely. There's nothing approved, and we can't imagine it getting approved for that spot, just for those reasons, just FYI. So if you hear that rumor, you can tell them that the village, team is aware and they're on it. So, and she wrote back to the people in your building that also contacted you, Ted, so they know. Okay. So have you heard anything else about it? No.
I haven't heard anything beyond that, no.
And what is the story, Ted, if someone wants to rent that space? You would know better than anyone. Rent or buy it? What's the situation going on with that?
Come to me first. It
Ted,
can't be sold without me. That's one thing. And then Eric and I have something between us that we have to deal with.
okay. Eric's the owner of the building.
If it gets rented, I mean, Eric can rent it out, or I can rent it out, either way. Eric still owns it.
What would they want to rent? Would you want to share what they'd want to rent it for approximately, or not?
Well, Eric wants to rent it for 6,500.
How many square feet is it, Ted?
2,500 square feet. The bills are very low. I think I can testify to that. Amanda can probably testify to that too. There's no gas. Your electric bills are fairly low for the size of the space, and it's if it gets rented lower than that, I mean, I could probably work something out, but then I have to deal with Eric on if I'm going to purchase it, what that pricing is going to relate to, depending on the return. So, but I'm certainly willing to do that to get something good in there.
Yeah, just to elaborate for other people,
And-
Ted is considering purchasing it, or you were when Velo was in there, but now that it doesn't have a renter.
Right, because we had an agreement, and I was going to purchase it, and Vela was in there, and they were paying rent and so on, and it didn't, and I'm not in a position to go and carry an empty space. So
And so you were actually Amanda's landlord then, right? Are you
that's
in a
correct.
sense? So you can
Relax.
tell us how that is. And Amanda and Joanna, you both have events coming up, right? So if you want to, I don't know if you want to share about those, either one of you. Amanda, why don't you go first? Because
I have a few things for December, just not December, oh my God, for October. We're just attaching to Spooktacular. I'm going to do a just an hour class for elementary age kids, a thriller hour class. And it'll be a drop off, and kids can dress up. We're gonna decorate the studio, and then a pre-K thing earlier in the day before Spooktacular, where I'm doing like a little craft and stuff, but Brianna will be teaching the thriller thing. And then there's some more things in the works right now for community events, but not official dates that I can share as of yet. But I am going to be in December, going to be doing something with the seniors again. We're going to do the Nutcracker for the seniors. Excerpts of it. But moving forward, Barb, I know that like things are very often you're creating as the year goes on, but in planning for events, like, I try to look at what's happening in the village, obviously. Is there like a basic calendar of events like through the year that we can reference just as a guidance to kind of maybe help plan the year out a little bit? I know wouldn't be exact, but.
Right. I mean, the things that I plan with the rec department, we put on the Destination Hastings page, and it really only goes up to the tree lighting right now. We will, but Lisa and I are hoping to meet this week or next week and try to like plug in some more things and get it up there. Like I want to do the Words on Hudson night again in April, which we did at the community center. If you want to do something across the street related, that could be really nice because it's story and literary and poetry themed, But last year we did the whole thing in the community center, but I'd love for other spots to have things going on. And I have to pick that date in April. There's a couple of writers I want involved, and I know that one of them has a performance, Melanie Hoops, she's performing up in Connecticut in April. So I just want to make sure, on that date, we will do the Pride event again, the first weekend in June, first Friday night. And this time, try to find a rain location like the high school gym, like in advance, work that out so it can happen on that night, no matter what. Because that was a lot of work for them to switch it. But things like the Memorial Day parade, all of that, like, yes, I mean, there'll be what happens is, Hastings puts out the calendar, which will come out early in the new year, and all those village event dates, like the Memorial Day parade, are in that calendar. But I have to check and see online how far into the future they've gone on the village website. I'll let you know. I'll look at that.
Yeah, that would be great.
When River Arts schedules like their music tours and their artist tours, do they run those dates by you first, Barb? Do you know anything about their 2024 dates yet?
I don't. I mean,
I invited them, but they couldn't make it.
Yeah, I haven't. I missed their preview show yesterday. I had a conflict, but yeah. By the way, their River Arts Studio Tour is November 4th and 5th. They switched it from the spring, the Artist Studio Tour. I don't know how far out Josh has planned, but he does let me know, and they do often check with me to see if it's a conflict, but not always, but they try to. Yeah, so I don't know when the music tour will be the Saturday, the first Saturday in June, if it's the same as it's always been. So, and Friday night would be the Friday night Pride, Saturday would be the music tour. And Sarah was going to join us. You know, she's reopened Purple and she's got a lot of events planned. I know about one of them because I'm one of the judges apparently on December 3rd, which is a Sunday. They're going to do the Battle of the Bands again, which is a lot of fun. If you want to see me try to be extemporaneous and pithy at the same time, come to that because the bands play and then we give feedback on the spot. It's actually really cool. It's like a Zen type of thing where you have to just trust that you'll have something to say when the band finishes playing. But somehow we always do. And Steve Adabo will be one of the judges, and Lee Dene, who is an A&R person for a record company and an old music industry friend, will be the other judge. So anyway, that's always a lot of fun. And I've heard they have other events planned, but Sarah hasn't given me the download yet, and she didn't make it to the call. She also opened a consignment store on the corner of Spring and South Side. I don't know if you've seen it yet. I think it's CNC Consignments. It's downstairs where the gem store used to be, on the corner. So FYI. And Joanna, you have a bunch of things going on, right? You want to share? You're unmuting.
Yeah, gosh. Well, fall is the busy season for everyone. I think we have our last Food Truck Friday of the season happening this Friday. That takes place in the circle outside the shop. It's basically like a happy hour to get everybody excited off the train and then head up the hill, go have dinner at the restaurants or any other activities they have planned. But we have live music playing outside. It'll be a great jazz band called the Mediterranean Tinge. So I'm excited for that as long as the weather holds, because it seems like it just wants to rain every weekend lately. So hopefully it'll hold out for us. And then yeah, it's wild. And then let's see, coming up after that, of course, we have our Scarecrow's Ball, which is a family-friendly Halloween party, Oz themed, outside the shop on Saturday, October 28th. It'll be all day long. We'll have lots of games, raffles, costume contests, prizes. I may or may not be wearing a very large pink dress, so you'll have to come and see it for yourself.
Very cool. Cool. And Michelle, you just had your 10th anniversary event Friday night. How was that? Congratulations, by the way.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, we had a toast at the beginning of the month. The mayor did a proclamation. It was very sweet. And then we just did like a wine dinner, a fancy French wine dinner on Friday. That was really nice as well to celebrate.
Oh, that was with Dave Hamburger, right? Did he come up?
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. He taught my kids how to be in a band, actually. He was very cool.
Hey, Barb, just going back to Purple, where do they tell people that they're having events? Because their website and their social media haven't been updated since 2018.
I was going to ask.
I didn't know that those events even existed. We'd love to all give them a shout out, but like,
I know.
What is she?
I wrote to her last night because I was looking at to share her events with you all, and she and they're not up. You're right. The website's not up to date.
And nothing, the Facebook, the Instagram, they all end in 2018.
I know. And she wrote to me this morning and said, what time is it? And resend me the link. And I did, but she didn't make it. So I have to find out. I know. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Because those would be great to obviously shout out. And if she's going to bring back concerts the way she used to, I mean, that'll certainly drive traffic to the community. We'd all certainly like to know about it and support her.
Absolutely. And she just told me, someone said, oh, there's going to be a dance party. And I don't know, but that's what I'm going to find. I was hoping to find out, but I'll find out and I'll include it in an email to everyone. And the thrift looked like I came at the end just to peek at it. They were packing out actually. But at the Rivertown's thrift at the Goodwich, I had suggested it to them when they were looking for a space, and so it looked like it went great, right?
Yes, they despite the rain, there were a lot of intrepid shoppers and many donations. So they were able to raise pretty significant amount of funds in a short amount of time. And I think from what I understand, their intention is to keep moving the space around so that it continues to get visibility. But they haven't announced the next date yet. So I'm sure they will in the coming weeks.
All right, great. And there's a repair cafe coming up in Hastings too. It's on I don't have the date in front of me. It's on the website on the destination Hastings. Bill, do you do that? Do you do the repair cafe as like a, artisan?
I haven't, but it always sounds really interesting.
Always looking for people who can repair on the spot. Is there anything you want to share, or Paul, or anyone else about
Barb, can I just, this is my first call, and I would like to introduce myself and just kind of find out who else is on the call, if that's okay. My name is Sharice Jervis Hill. I am the president and founder of Events to Remember and PR to Remember. We are a full service event management and public relations firm. Been in business for 19 years, just moved to Hastings about 1.5 years ago. So we have a professional space, not a storefront. But this is my first call, and would love to just kind of go around and meet everyone. So many conversations, and I, would love to just be kind of in the loop of the different businesses that you own. So Ellen, I know of you just for BCW and different circles that we both have been a part of. Does everyone mind just kind of giving me your name and your business? That would be helpful as a new member.
Sure. I'm Dina Fleischman, and I'm the Vice President of the Rivertowns Chamber of Commerce. We represent the 4 villages of Hastings, Dobbs, Irvington, and Ardsley. I'm a Hastings resident, and my own business is I'm an importer of gourmet foods from Europe.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm Bill Feeney. I have Hudson Line. It's a furniture and home goods store, and I'm at 541 Warburton. I was just thinking, I just wanted to mention real quick, I went to Dobbs recently, and I plugged the meter, and it said, "Is this a quick trip?" And I said, "Yes." And so the first 15 minutes parking is free. And I thought that was such a cool thing. So I'm not sure if Barb,
yeah, no, you jumped on after we mentioned it, Bill, but I'm going before the board tomorrow night to advocate that we do the same thing. And the board,
wonderful.
From what I can tell from talking to them, that they are behind it. And so I think that will get approved like maybe as soon as tomorrow night. And
That's
we're going
fantastic.
But I think I agree.
Sorry, I missed it. I got here late. So
no, that's fine. But that's a great point, and I support it, and I think it will happen soon.
Wonderful.
So you have other people introducing themselves to Sharice.
Hi, Sharice. It's Michelle from St. George, immediate past president for anybody else on the call for the Rivertowns Chamber and partner at St. George Bistro.
Yes, Michelle, I know you from the chamber. We've met. Thank you. Amanda, I'll just read off the names that I'm seeing on the screen.
Hi. I'm Amanda Capellas, and I'm over at 45 Main, one of the storefronts, and I have a dance studio, but I also do a lot of community events, outreach with dance, live music and dance events. And so I've been at 45 Main for about a year, coming this February.
Nice to meet you. Ted?
We're also at 45 Main. My wife and I, Nune, we have a photography studio, and we do printing and some other types of work for personal people who want to come in and print something and frame it or do something like that.
Perfect. Paul? Mute.
You're muted. Did you unmute?
Oh, there we go. I'm Paul. I own Borough 6 Wine Bar.
Awesome. Been there. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And JP?
I'm Joanna. I'm the owner of the Good Witch Coffee Bar located at the Hastings train station.
Awesome. Been there too. Thank you. That's helpful.
And you're my neighbor, right? We've been planning to meet. We live in the same townhouse community, and I am the downtown advocate, obviously, for Hastings. I also do, as a consultant, I do PR, advertising, and partnerships at the moment. For many years, I've done that for Karen Moore Center for Music and the Arts in Katona, about just as long as I've been the downtown advocate, and recently on projects for the Jacob Burns Film Center and Historic Hudson Valley, which has been great.
Thank you.
Actually, I want to share, you're welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Is there anything else you wanted to say to us?
No, that was just wanted to meet everyone.
Tina, I wanted to mention to you that the person who told me they want to open a cheese shop is wants to be very collaborative and maybe have some other things. She goes like olive oil, and I said I would try to connect her with you. And so
I'm your girl.
I'll let you know. And The other thing I was going to say is in doing PR for a couple of these other nonprofits, it's really helping me make some extra really good connections for us. Because for the Historic Hudson Valley has the great jack-o'-lantern blaze, and Lisa LaRocca came out. Me, who can barely get to a 10 o'clock conference call on time, met her at 4 a.m. up at the jack-o'-lantern blaze, and she did morning live from there. And I talked to her while I had her attention. I talked to her about doing a morning live here. Oh, I didn't mention, of course, because this is one of the ideas I had, that, the French bakery and patisserie is going to open on Main Street. That's Vera's business. She just had, she's just waiting on the health department and to finish things up. She's got her equipment. She's going to have gelato, and she's going to have, French pastries. She and I think her brother are partnered in One If by Land, Two If by Sea in the city. I don't know if
Yeah, she's a co-owner and pastry chef of One If by Land.
Yeah, so she's always wanted to have her own shop, and she'll still be doing hair next door at the Shoo Salon, but she'll be opening soon. She's got tables, chairs, equipment in the kitchen. She's just waiting she's got her sign up. If you go down the street, you'll see her sign. So so I was telling Lisa, so last summer they went to different villages and they did features on them, and it's like a great town, village to visit. And so if she does it for morning live, I had an idea that she could go to all the coffee shops and everyone who serves coffee in the morning. I mean, you'd have to get there early, but we could, and introduce her to obviously her new shop, and to you, Joanna, and Paul, you've got good coffee, and by the way, bakery and Antoinette's, and she could do because they have to do 8 segments. And I'm like, we could fill up 8 really cool, fun. And then in the last segment, they repeat that till noon, and it goes from 5 a.m. to 8:30. Every half hour they do segments. And then at the end, we can show her the shops and the village, have some of the business owners there talking about their shops. And then they do a summary piece at noon. It's a ton of PR. So she loves the idea. So maybe we'll get her here to do that. But so the nice thing is a lot of people are responding to the Blaze PR, and then I'm telling them all about Hastings. So we'll see what we can leverage from that. So anyway, that's Ellen, that's it for me. If there's other stuff you want to.
Ellen, do you want me to run through the chamber events really quickly, since I'm
I will let you do that. I was just going to say that folks who couldn't come, I asked them, I solicited any questions that they might have, and 100% of them were related to parking. And since Nikki tackled that as soon as we started, we are fine with parking. So yes, please, Michelle, go on ahead.
So we have Taste Local returning the same weekend as the studio tour of River Arts. It's the first weekend in November. We're actually doing it on the Saturday again from 12 to 4. It was a really great turnout last year. It's a great opportunity for marketing for our food and beverage related businesses. So restaurants, shops, anybody that has a food and beverage offering. We do a lot of outreach and invite people to the event. So it's a marketing opportunity for the businesses. Also for the holiday season, we have our Shop Local campaign, which is similar to what we did for Best of Westchester, where we do a roundup of all the member businesses that have a gift offering, whether that's, a class that could be gifted, a gift certificate, or the traditional retail options. And then we advertise that pretty heavily. We do some paid ads, and we do a lot of social media campaign to promote each of those businesses during the holiday season. And then we do our holiday trolley, which is the first Saturday in December. Again, that's very retail oriented, where if you want to attract, shoppers into your shop that day, obviously there's a list of all the members, for people to shop at. But if you're thinking of doing a special trunk show or a special offering tied to the holidays, that's a good day to promote it. And I think that's, Dina, what am I missing? We have our last chamber meeting of the year coming up.
And the women's social.
Oh, Women's Social. We have a Women's Social November 16th. And that's going to be in Irvington at Felina. And then I'm skipped over the Spooky Trolley Tour because that's already coming up on Wednesday. And it's selling really well. And just so everybody knows, that event, that one-day event, is this is our pilot year. The idea is that we figure out how to draw some of the crowd that comes to Sleepy Hollow and Tarrytown to this area to frequent, our area, and figure out, how we can kind of tie in Halloween theme. We have a storyteller on the trolley. His name is Stuart. He was recommended by Jonathan Kruk, who does, you know, a lot of the Sleepy Hollow stuff. And so he's a lot of fun and has been working up some true and not so true spooky stories for our trolley tour. So we're going to see how it goes this year and see how we can maybe expand that in the future to have some foot traffic in the river towns for the Halloween season. Any questions?
Question about that, because I wasn't clear from reading the description on HUDCO's website. Is anyone getting off of the trolley like at any other locations?
No, so it's just a 1 hour tour. So it's like if you go to Salem or wherever, it's not like our holiday trolley where it just kind of like, you know, goes around town. It's a tour where you're paying to get on, and he's on the trolley telling stories, and it's going through all 3 villages, and it's more of an entertainment event than something where people are hopping on and off. However, you know, we're thinking of it like an entertainment event that, you know, maybe people would come to the river towns in the future to frequent shops before they go, or, you know, have dinner before they have their tickets, similar to like the Lantern Blaze. You know, people are constantly on Facebook asking, where should we eat beforehand, that kind of thing. So we're just playing with the idea of like what could be an attraction for the river towns that will spill over to the businesses.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So if a business wanted to, for moving in down the line, if we wanted to do an event that is coinciding with one of the chamber's events, who do you reach? How does that work?
You can reach out to info@rivertownschamber.com. We also do, for any event that's upcoming, there is outreach to our email list where we, you know, notify everyone. So if you're, you know, a member on the email list, you'll get a notification that, you know, we're looking for if businesses have anything that they want us to promote.
Thank you.
But you can certainly email the chamber anytime with that.
Thank you so much.
Well, folks, if there are no more questions, it's a nice way to spend a Monday morning with you all.
Thanks. Thanks.
Very informative.
Barbara, do keep us updated on how tomorrow night's meeting goes. I am optimistic. I've always had the impression that people were interested in the 15 minutes parking, and it was really helpful to have the information about like signage going up for parking soon. So,
and congratulations, Ellen, on your new location.
Thanks. I spent all my time in the Mamaroneck now.
Oh, don't leave us.
No. It's a staffing thing. I'm scooping a lot of ice cream.
Okay.
I just want to give another shout out to the village quickly about that, just to note that if there ever are issues, this village in particular is really proactive, or, you know, important things that come up that need to be discussed. And then obviously all the work that Barb does. I mean, it really stands out because we, you know, I've worked across the 4 villages for several years now. So, you know, for everyone on the call or every, you know, Hastings businesses, this is just very informational. And thank you for all the work you do, Barb, and staying in communication and being proactive. It makes a difference, I think.
So the chamber, you guys were great. So nice to collaborate.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys very much for taking the time this morning. We all really appreciate it. As always, you can reach our village is very accessible. So you can reach Barbara with any questions. You can reach me and any of us at the River Towns Chamber with any questions. We are always at your beck and call. And I'll see you on Warburton.
Okay, bye.
Have a great one, guys.
Have a
Take
good
care. Have a
day.
great day.
Bye.